Real talk, the Metaphor Messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, coming at you live from Germany. I survived. You survived. We all made it through not only Backlash and the weekend of wrestling that was a mixed bag, albeit, and we'll get into that in more in a minute, but I missed my birthday party. I didn't miss. I survived my birthday party. Yes, the one that we live streamed right here for about 3.5 hours last night. Now, some of you may be asking right now, what are you talking about, you fat ass? There is no stream. Yes, there is no stream anymore. Yeah, that's right. We had to get rid of it. And it is what it is. Either you were there and you were part of the epic celebration that it was, or you missed it and you're only going to have to hear about it from your friends. And that's it. So it is what it is, guys. And we're going to continue moving on. And before we get into everything that we're going to be talking about today, I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you. Apparently something's wrong with my mic. What the hell? Something's wrong with my mic, huh? I don't like that. What the hell's wrong with my mic? Shit. Uh-oh. Dave, the audio sounds like it's coming through the camera. That is bizarre. Okay, hold on. Let's... Microphone Pro. Oh, Jesus. What the hell? Oh, what the hell is going on? Hold on. 1 second. Oh, are you serious right now? You motherfucker. Disable you.
Okay, that should fix the problem. Okay. That should fix the problem. Hopefully, let me know if it sounds a little bit better. Because for some reason, we had an update on the computer today, and apparently it reactivated my webcam. Isn't that lovely? Let me know if it's better now. Is it better? Are we good? Let me know. Give me some thumbs up in there. Dave, why are you recording? Okay, it's good now. Better. Okay, I want to see more betters. Give me more betters. Mo bettas. Okay. Yes, the camera, for some reason, reactivated itself. So now I'm back to my smooth, buttery goodness. Everything is good. I apologize for that. Didn't know that it happened. Okay, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave. Now, we had an epic birthday celebration last night. It's one for the ages. And I got to say thank you. I got to say thank you to everybody who supported. You guys are absolute monsters. You're all crazy. You're all crazy human beings who supported the channel in a way that you guys donated almost $1,400 last night. Plain and simple. Everybody together, everybody who pitched in, everybody who threw money at me last night. $1,400. And a lot of that is already being spent to upgrade some stuff. I'm getting something that I'm going to be able to, it's going to help me be able to record more and do more stuff. And that's a freaking new chair. I'm getting a really nice new chair. Got a secondary camera coming, some other goodies, all kinds of good. And all I can do is say thank you. And I hope that it was worth it. I hope you got your money's worth. And I hope you enjoy the show. So let's get into it, because we had a little bit of stuff going on, you know. This weekend had quite a bit of stuff happening, wrestling wise. We're going to open with wrestling, something we haven't done in a while. And I understand that the last 2 nights were not as advertised because of everything else that was happening, but wrestling did take place, and that's what we're going to open with. And I have a very special guest who's going to be joining me in just a few minutes. Ace Trainer Liam will be here. We're going to talk everything that happened this weekend. But before we bring him in, there are 2 things I want to touch on. One from NXT Takeover Chicago and one from Backlash. Let's start with NXT Takeover Chicago, because I got to be honest, that is one of the best full shows that I've seen. And I feel like I say this every NXT Takeover. And some people are like, oh, it's overrated. It's not that good. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what you're looking at, but hey, to each their friggin' own. However, for me, it's continuing to get better each and every single time. And this last one was just amazing. one of the best matches I have seen in modern history, modern times, last 15 years, I would say 10 to 15 years. That WWE UK title match was freaking amazing, but that's not what I want to talk about. We're going to talk about that in a moment. What I want to talk about is arguably the greatest heel turn in the past 15, 20 years. Tommaso Ciampa and this turn on Johnny Gargano. Unbelievable. There was no indication, there was no inclination, there was no possible feeling it out throughout the course of the match. There were some rumors, of course, but the match, the way that everything worked out, it seemed like there was no problem between Gargano and Ciampa. In fact, Gargano sacrificed himself at one point. I mean, like, the whole thing seemed like it was just one of those. They were going to lose. They were going to move on. But that's not what happened. Oh, no, no, no. Even after the graphic, the logo, the end screen credits for NXT Takeover appeared on screen, that's when the fireworks started. And Ciampa put a beatdown on Gargano of epic proportions. It wasn't just the physicality, which was epic in and of itself. It was the emotional stuff. These guys were in each other's weddings. They've known each other. I mean, it's a serious relationship that we know about. It's well established, and they've been a hell of a tag team together. From all the glorious bombs that we've seen on Twitter to the incredible matches that they've had in NXT as champion and as pursuing the titles. I mean, absolutely incredible. And the Chicago crowd played their part magnificently, culminating in "fuck you, Ciampa" chants. It was stupendous. It really was incredible. And you don't see turns like that. So often, turns are just done for the sake of turning some guy, and they rarely mean anything anymore. They carry no weight or substance for long periods of time. They're just kind of there. And it pisses you off. Because what was the point of it? This one feels like it's going to linger. This one feels like it's going to have ramifications that we will see later down the road when these two inevitably clash. It's going to be quite incredible to see how it goes. Tommaso Ciampa is such a fantastic looking heel. And Gargano he's one of those guys. He's one of those faces that people just love to cheer for. So these two will clash again. I'm 100% sure of that. On to Backlash. The one thing I want to talk about. I could talk about Jinder, and we will. We could talk about Shinsuke Nakamura's debut, and we will. But I want to talk about just one of the most awkward things I think I've seen in a very long time. And I'm saddened to say it involves AJ Styles. AJ Styles getting his leg caught in the trap door of the fucking announce table that is never there. That trap door is never there, but it was there this time. And it wasn't just the fact that it was a lame spot. It was the fact that the camera angles, which were a problem all night with this pay-per-view, especially with Nakamura. Once again, we'll talk about that in a moment. But the camera angle catching AJ Styles grab the cable and wrap it around his foot. Seriously? Seriously? I mean, like, seriously? That was bad. That was bad, and it bugged me, and it left a sour taste in my mouth. And really, from that match on, the rest of the show kind of fell flat, with the exception of the main event, which I really, really enjoyed. We're going to talk about each match and all the stuff that happened in a little bit more in detail in just a few minutes. I'm about to bring in Ace Trainer Liam, and then we're going to take your guys' questions, your comments, your concerns, your hopes, your dreams, your quips, your quotes, your loves, your likes, and everything else that you might have. But first, want to say big O shout out to everybody who's here. Real Talk to Metaphor Messiah, who has a brand new interview out with Hound TV here on YouTube. Highly recommend you check it out. It's short, sweet, right to the point, and you guys will enjoy it. He's also going to be headlining the Firth Festival here in Germany from July 7th to the 9th. He'll be headlining that, one of the headliners, and that's going to be amazing because I get to meet him. I get to smoke with the big dog. So pretty good stuff there. Make sure you check out everything that's going on with Real Talk Metaphor Messiah. We see Huff Stuff, Adam Taylor, Terry Snow Queen moderating all you monkeys. Makade, Strain and Lim, who we're about to bring in. Xanta Claus is here. Ginger Dude, D-Rock, Caro, Gedney, Colin, Sabotage, Guncannon, the Graphics Man, which, by the way, you're going to see some new stuff out of Guncannon tomorrow. He worked his butt off today and got me a brand new Pokemon frame that I cannot wait to debut. And I'm not going to leak it early like I did his other one, I promise. A Funny Pie is here. All these people. Snark Guy, thank you so much. Let's bring in the man of the hour. Let's bring in the guy that you're probably here to see, to be completely honest. My good buddy, the best Pokemon streamer in the world today, Ace Trainer Liam. What's up, pal? Ace Trainer Liam. I bet I'm having issues here as well. Oh, you bastard. Okay, give me a second. I'll bet you this is giving me a fuck. Ooh, I'm going to kill this thing. I'm going to kill it with fire. Liam, can you hear me? Oh, you bastard. Oh, I hate this fucking thing so much. Liam.
Hello there.
Ah, Jesus H. Christ. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You sound magnificent.
What a beautiful start. What a beautiful, fantastic start.
What the fuck? It's not your fault. It's my fault. It's Discord's fault, and I think I just closed it.
You just closed Discord?
No, apparently I didn't, because I'm still talking to you. Okay.
Maybe just don't touch it.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong anymore.
I was going to jump in and ask you how you're alive after that stream.
Well, apparently I'm not. Apparently I'm not alive. I'm basically just a corpse right now that is shambling around for everybody to see. What the hell is happening? I don't know how I'm alive, to be honest. That was insane.
So basically, you're just propped up, and Mel is just like moving your mouth ventriloquist style.
Yes, unfortunately, she decided to go anally for that. She has very long arms. Very long arms.
Very long fingernails.
So what's up, man? How's everything going with you?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. You know, managed to get up and actually do some recording, which is always nice.
That's always nice.
After the interesting pay-per-view that was Backlash.
Yeah, you know,
I know we're going to go through it a bit.
Yeah, let's start with Backlash, because I think we both have very similar opinions on Takeover Chicago.
I think the world does.
Yeah, we're going to suck that off good and proper in just a few minutes.
Oh.
But let's start with Backlash. Plain and simple, what did you think? This was kind of a mixed bag pay-per-view. What'd you like? What'd you love? What'd you hate?
Well, if I called the event as a whole lackluster, I'd be being generous.
Ooh.
It was very, very... It felt like an episode of SmackDown. That's about the only way I could put it. It didn't feel like a special event.
No.
I mean, you've got... The AJ and Owens match should have been a show stealer. It should have been an amazing contest. And I felt like, even for the first match of a feud, they were not giving it their all.
Right. It felt like they were saying, I mean, I know they were trying to pull the injury angle with fucking with AJ's knee and all that, but yes, something was wrong.
I mean, the initial injury angle with the knee on across the rope, that looked fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And that got me interested after not much of a match happening. But then, like you say, with the obvious hooking of the leg through the monitor gap,
that was bizarre.
They don't even use those monitors anymore.
Nobody will notice this trap door here.
Yeah, like nobody's been watching wrestling for like the last 10 years straight and seen all the changes and stuff. And then they're like, oh, by the way, let's use the old monitors. Let's see, is the old table set up just so AJ can fall through it.
Yeah, let's get him right through. And then the camera angles. I've been bitching about camera angles in WWE on SmackDown since the beginning of SmackDown. It's just driving since the new iteration of SmackDown started. I hate the low angle. I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. It catches everything. And we fell victim to it again. It just caught AJ. Well, actually, this was just bad. It had nothing to do with the angle. It was just a bad cameraman in a bad spot. Somebody in the truck did not switch camera at the right time, because they clearly showed him hook that thing. I was like, ugh.
I mean, one of the things I want to emphasize is, for a lot of people, is people aren't hating on Backlash just because Jinder won the world title.
Right.
It's the rest of the show.
Right.
Didn't help us counteract that. If we'd have had a fantastic show and it would have been messed up at the end by like, oh, Jinder's got the title, I wouldn't have felt too bad. But the fact that it's been kind of a boring show going through,
I can't even go with the whole show.
You sure?
Let's start at the beginning of it, because I think the first half of it was amazing. I really did. I love Shinsuke Nakamura, Dolph Ziggler. I thought they did a good job. They wrestled a little bit different of a match than I was expecting them to. I like that
very different.
They let Shinsuke wrestle, which you don't. I mean, you know that he can do this if you've seen him in New Japan before. You know what he's capable of. But I like that they went with this angle with Dolph really trying to just ground him and not allow the strike. I liked it. It felt like a real fight. And I felt
though, for a debut match though, for Ziggler to be pretty much on top of Shinsuke for most of the match, it didn't make Shinsuke look like a wily kind of veteran that can win and has come in and is a big deal. It felt like Shinsuke was an up and comer. It almost felt like the kind of match they'd be having, say, I don't know, say like Ty Dillinger, if he was against somebody in a debut match on that level, you'd maybe expect him to be kind of beaten down a little bit and then make the babyface comeback. But Shinsuke has been made to be such a big major deal. You wouldn't have expected someone like Ziggler to be able to one-up him so much throughout the match.
I think if it was anybody else, I think there'd be a greater point. But Ziggler, while has become a little bit of a joke and a punchline at times, Ziggler's also very accomplished. He has been known globally as one of the best in-ring performers that we have going around. He just has a problem with injuries and connecting sometimes on a different level. But the guy is dynamite in the ring. He sells fantastically.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
dynamic.
No one sells like Ziggler.
So I think it was actually a really good idea to work that style of match. I think we got to see a little bit more out of Shinsuke that we're not used to seeing out of him. And, you know, we've seen so many times a big star come in and kind of squash his first competition, like in a very decisive fashion. I'm kind of glad they didn't do that. They did with the finish.
I agree that it shouldn't have been a squash, but I also kind of feel like it could have at least been like an extended kind of squash with Shinsuke pretty much on top, and maybe Ziggler trying to use underhanded tactics to one-up him.
The ending, I think they're trying to keep Ziggler strong. I think that's a big part of it. Ziggler's been made a joke so many times that I think they wanted to make it seem like he's legit on the same level as Shinsuke.
Kind of increase his credibility while debuting Shinsuke.
That's what I felt. It was kind of like, let's elevate both of their stock at the same time type of deal. And I thought they accomplished that. The ending was phenomenal. I loved the finish. I thought it was a very strong slamming of the door. The spit in the face by Ziggler I thought was really good. I loved the match. I really did. It was a lot of fun.
I'll give you that.
After that, we got things got weird.
Really fucking weird.
But I liked it. Okay, I can't tell you why, but I was so entertained. Maybe I was fucking sauced out of my mind because I did watch this while I was like slumped over in my bed last night.
I'm not surprised.
Breezango versus the Usos. There was something oddly entertaining about this.
I get that it was entertaining, right? And I get that, like, the comedy, the shtick, that's their MO. They're supposed to be getting over as this plucky babyface team that is a little bit silly.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I agree with what a lot of people are saying, which is when the tag team titles are on the line, you're not supposed to be joking around. You're supposed to be dead serious. You're supposed to be wanting to be the top of that division, not pretending to mop the ring.
Yeah, no, I get that to an extent, but it's...
Plus, can we point out that Breezango should have been DQ'd because...
A couple of times.
Tyler Breeze shoved a mop in the face of one of the Usos. That is hitting someone in the face with a foreign object.
That is a foreign object.
That even in the face, that should be an immediate fine.
Yeah,
you're not allowed to take shots to the face anymore.
I think a big reason why I didn't care too much is because I simply don't care about the SmackDown tag team titles. They're kind of a joke to me anyway. The Usos, they're hit and miss. I like them a little bit better as a heel, but there's nothing going on at the division. So the fact that I got entertained, just like I got entertained at all, I'm happy. You know, the fact that they did something a little different. And I didn't like the finish, oddly enough. I felt that was too decisive of a finish because Breezango's getting over. They're getting over.
It really put like a full stop on everything.
It was a little strange, but
I was going to say it's interesting to compare how behind the SmackDown tag team division everyone is, and then you look at how behind the NXT tag team division everybody is.
Yeah,
you look at the NXT tag team titles over the years, right, and you look at like how over the Ascension were as tag team champions and how unstoppable they were. Then they jump onto the main roster and get completely buried.
Over and over.
Yeah, over and over. And then the worst part of that, though, like, I know this is a bit of a history lesson, but the worst part of that is the writers tell the Ascension to mock Animal and the late Hawk.
Yeah.
And then JBL gets offended that they've been told to mock Hawk, so takes it out on the Ascension, who are just reciting their lines.
Right.
And buries them.
JBL's a strange cat because, like, he takes stuff so far in his burials on commentary. I understand that's what a heel commentator is supposed to do at times, but it's rare for a heel commentator to bury a heel in such a fashion.
Oh, it's dreadful. And the weird thing is it was an example of JBL taking the moral high ground, which these days is a really bizarre thing to think about him even having moral high ground.
True, but he does do it though. That is kind of par for the course. It was just a weird thing to do because are you trying to get these guys over or are you not? And obviously that was never the plan because this was easy. Because that was hard to
the commentator, the announce team, they always have like Vince in their ear saying, say this, or maybe just don't say that because that's going to fuck everything up. But in this case, he was just like, no, we've just called them up. Just keep burying them. That's it, man. Keep it going.
Make another joke. It'll be funny. You know, it's like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, there's a serious problem with tag team division in SmackDown, but the New Day might be able to fill some of that void, and hopefully that'll be the case. Where it's not going to be DIY.
Oh, it's not going to be DIY. Oh my God.
Woo.
But that is a story that I'm looking forward to watching on NXT now.
That's going to be I'm wondering if it's going to be told at the NXT level. I got a feeling we're going to see it on 205. Got a feeling.
Oh, maybe.
But they don't need him in NXT. They don't need to tell its story there. I think Ciampa will go up, and then a few weeks later, Gargano will follow. That's what I think. We'll talk about that more in a second.
Yeah.
The other match that I felt was good for the first part of it, the first part of the show, was I really enjoyed Corbin and Zayn. I understand a lot of people are shitting. How could you have Corbin lose? He's supposed to be getting this monster push. Well, what the fuck about Zayn? You know, Zayn
that was one of the better matches of the night, though.
It's a really good match, yeah.
They've got chemistry.
Great chemistry. Who doesn't fucking Sami Zayn have great chemistry with?
Yeah.
Jeez, it's like he wrestles well with everybody. And the funny thing is, this shouldn't have worked because they just told this exact same story with him and Samoa Joe. And it worked, but they just told the exact same story. And I got to be honest, I like this match better than anything Zayn did with Samoa Joe. I really enjoyed this match.
Agreed. Yeah, I can't even like argue that point.
It was fun.
It's the better of the two.
Did you have a problem with the finish? Did you have a problem with the win? It was a flash victory, so I really didn't have an issue with it.
I'm really torn because, like you say, it was very out of nowhere. It was very much like it wasn't a case of, oh my God, Corbin's been controlling him the whole match and now he's done. It's, oh wait, it's ended? Oh, okay. But like, Corbin needed the win. I get that because they're trying to build him up as a monster heel and maybe one of the top heels on SmackDown, even though the top heel on SmackDown is Jinder, especially now. I suppose knowing the finish of the Orton-Jinder match now, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's okay for Sami to go over because Corbin's obviously not quite there yet in terms of the top heel. So they've got Jinder, that's fine, and the Bollywood boys or the Singh brothers or whatever. But Zayn has desperately needed a win for a long time because how many losses does Zayn need to have before even the casual fans go, this guy never fucking wins. This guy's nothing.
When does he become Dolph Ziggler? When does he become Ziggler? Yeah. You know?
When does he become Ziggler? Maybe when Jack Swagger kicks him in the face.
Yes, because that
was the turning point.
It was. No, you're 100% right. It was. Yeah. So the question is, let me ask you this. Where does Zayn go here? Do they go back to Owens? I mean, I don't think Owens and AJ are done. Don't get me wrong. But where are we going to see Corbin and Zayn
Owens,
again?
Can he? I mean, who else do they have that's a heel on SmackDown, really?
Do you think that they continue this whole curveball mentality and potentially if they don't stick with Corbin and Zayn, the next pay-per-view, do they go Zayn and fucking Jinder Mahal? I mean, with all the weird stuff they're doing, it's not the worst idea in the world.
I mean, the other thing is it's around that kind of time of year where they start doing multi-man matches. So maybe we'll see something where the United States title, maybe AJ and Owens keep feuding, but maybe the US title is taken out of the picture.
Oh, you know what I just thought of? I think the next SmackDown pay-per-view is Money in the Bank.
Ah, there you go. Maybe Zayn could get that.
It looks like that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, again, it's awkward because I would put Zayn or Corbin as Money in the Bank winner.
Right. You could do it with AJ. You could even do it with Kevin Owens and have him hold the U.S. title and the briefcase.
I'm thinking of people that need it though. I know it's never the way they go. They never go, oh, this guy needs it.
Right.
But I feel like with Money in the Bank, it should go to someone that needs it. And Zayn and Corbin both need something just to rocket them into the main event.
I agree with that. Shinsuke makes sense too, but Shinsuke is my answer to everything.
Yeah,
what cures cancer? Shinsuke Nakamura. Who should be the president of the United States? Shinsuke Nakamura. That's my answer. I mean, to everything.
I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, let's go with," maybe they'll go with Zayn against Jinder for the WWE title. Yeah. But we've been complaining for months about, well, for weeks, because that's how long the build's been for Jinder.
Yeah, really.
Jinder has lost loads of matches, has looked really weak, and now he's in the WWE title picture. We can't then say, let's put Zayn in, who's lost loads of matches, looked really weak. He's had one big win at a pay-per-view, and now he's the number one contender. Like, we're setting a precedent if we do that.
You know what, though? It's a weird precedent, but the funny thing is, and we'll talk about the Jinder thing in a minute, it kind of works. You know, I mean, it's doing stuff that's just sometimes just to do it kind of gets over. And people may not want to hear this. Jinder got over last night, and we'll talk about that.
He did, yeah.
We'll talk about that more in a second, because after that Zayn match, that's the problem started once again.
Are we getting in touch with the women's match that had a contract signing for it?
Why do the women of SmackDown, no matter who is there, no matter who's in that goddamn division, why do the women of SmackDown constantly derail every show that they're on? That
match as well was sloppy as hell. I get you can always argue the women on SmackDown are not treated properly, they're not booked properly, but it would have been the 6 of those women who had a lot of input into how that match was put together.
Right.
So which one of them fucked it up?
I'm gonna go with Ellsworth. I'm just gonna go with Ellsworth.
I'm probably Tamina's biggest hater, just because I don't think she adds anything to anything. She's big. I mean, I was gonna say I get that obviously her dad's a Hall of Famer, but they've even dropped that name now because they kind of want to avoid it.
Right, a little bit. It's like, it might not be the best idea in the world. You know, it's Tamina Snuka, Tamina Murderer. I mean, no, allegedly. Wait, no, wait.
Exactly. So, but then what else has she got? I mean, she even I don't even think her in-ring work's that good.
No, it's
drops are sloppy. When she does do the Samoan splash, it's sloppy because instead of her evenly hitting across the opponent, it's always one leg hitting the ground first and shit like that.
She's got one thing though, man. She's got a nasty super kick. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll give her that out of everything. She's got a good super
kick. That thing is a tooth jiggler, man. That is ridiculous. But for whoever's fault it was, and I really don't know the match was so boring. I could not even get showcase matches with women. Rarely work. Rarely, especially when you want to see a story told. I finally started to care about Naomi a little bit. Finally, when she was taking on Charlotte, it mattered to me. I didn't like
she
their matches
doesn't look like a strong world champion at this point, though.
No, she's still green.
Women's champion, I should
say. she's so green. She's still after all these years. But I'm so interested in Charlotte that I automatically, it's like I care more about Naomi because of Charlotte. I love Charlotte. So let's see this story. And then Becky taps out. So we know we're going to see more with Becky and this whole situation.
I honestly thought Becky was going to turn heel. Yeah, I thought that was going to happen tonight.
Yeah, they're going to slow burn it. Because that's the way to do things. But that match just derailed everything. And then the very strange Kevin Owens AJ Styles match, which
I know you want to talk about the camera angle again.
I do. Am I that bad? Should I be hung up on it so much? Hung up like AJ's
literally.
Leg?
Oh god.
We were there. We just made love. We just made joke love. That was beautiful.
Obvious.
We made a joke, baby. Fantastic.
That was absolutely terrible. I mean, the thing is as well is AJ's whole shtick at the moment is he's traveled the world. He's a veteran. He's done so much in his over a decade in the wrestling business, ignoring that time he was at that other company that we don't talk of. And then, even though that's pretty much like where he became the household name, arguably, and yet he doesn't know to not step on the trap door.
The trap door.
He doesn't know how to untangle himself from a cable.
The match was just weird.
Do you know what? The worst thing was watching the referee trying to untangle him after the match. And you were like, dude, just grab all the cables with each hand and pull, and it'll slip off. It's not even hooked on him that much.
No, it really wasn't. Owens was acting weird during the match, too. Like, I love Kevin Owens, but when he puts it on too much, it's too much. And I felt it was just the match was slow. It was oddly paced. It didn't seem crisp. I don't know what was wrong. It
almost looked like the match was planned out like several hours before the pay-per-view.
Yeah, right. Like they didn't even talk. They're just like, you know what? We're two of the best. We can make this happen.
Exactly.
Well, maybe let's have a little talk. You know, Jesus. Prior proper planning prevents positively poor performance, kids. Remember that.
It's like they wanted to do, they knew what they wanted to do. They knew they wanted to get the knee spot in and the finish. And then the rest of that was maybe, oh, I could threaten to Styles Clash you off the apron, but not do it. And that's it.
That was pretty cool, though. For the second where you actually believe maybe he can hold Kevin Owens up long enough to fucking do it.
That scared me, because I thought he might actually try and do it, in which case I was worried that we were going to have like a Yoshitatsu situation.
Right. Broken neck time.
It would be Owens' head going backwards off the apron.
Well, luckily Owens is pretty fat, so I'm pretty sure his head would have just disappeared into his neck fat, and he probably would have been okay. I have neck fat. Trust me. I
was going to say I have less experience with that than you, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh, your woman's in the chat, and she is upset at you. She says he doesn't even call me for this long. Yep. Well.
Oh,
look at me.
That's because she's at my fucking house. I'm not going to call you from the house.
Right? You're downstairs. You're in the other room. I'll be in there a little tickle pickle later. Don't worry. It's okay. He's here with that on Dave now. He's here with that on Dave.
But that little bit of woman time just there wasn't as bad as the women's match, so that's fine.
That's right.
The women's match was complete garbage. I hate shitting on the women's matches, but
garbage.
This time it was absolute garbage because the caliber of women that are in there, like you say, you've got Charlotte Flair, you've got Becky Lynch, who we know can put on like close to 5-star matches.
Sure.
And then, no, we're just going to do a 6-woman tag. It's going to be sloppy. People aren't even going to know where they need to be and when. It was awful.
Did they accomplish the goal of establishing the welcoming committee? By the way, the worst fucking faction name in the history of faction names.
It's so fucking stupid.
So
like
cringe.
The thing is as well, like, you know, when they're teasing that Becky's going to join the welcoming committee and stuff like that, or if Charlotte would join the welcoming committee, and it's like, but if she joins the welcoming committee and she's new, how can she be the welcoming committee?
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
There's a logic gap here. I don't know. Logic. Speaking of weird and bizarre, though, what was with the placement of the Harper Rowan match? And can anybody explain me what the fuck is up with this mask? Am I just missing something? What is
the weird sexual cheap mask?
His S&M
like some
cheap
kind of
mask.
yeah.
What the fuck is that?
I mean, did you see him? Did you see him on the pre-show when he was like pulling fluff out of it and putting it on Pete Rosenberg?
It's an interesting angle. It's an interesting gimmick to go with. You know,
I mean, he almost showed that he could talk as well during that segment, only briefly, but
yeah.
It wasn't great. They always do. I feel like Kevin Owens, Eric Rowan, almost rhymes. I just think they're trying the same old thing they did with him when they first split the Wyatt family up years ago.
Right.
Like, even down to the music with the toy piano in the background, where it's like, hey, toy piano, he's a bit mental.
We get it. He's creepy. We get that. I totally get it. He's absolutely creepy. But
other than just chasing women, what else is he going to do?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not fantastic in the ring. He's a good monster, but we've seen the kind of matches that Harper can put on if given the right small opponent. Right. But another big man, Harper can't do it. No, it's weird. Well, to be fair, though, he seems to only get into big man matches with Rowan. Let's see what else he can do. I don't know, because he's a talent. Luke Harper is such a talent. And I mean, from the match placement to the execution, it was weird. Yeah. Why are they a tag team still? Why?
Those two as a tag team can put on amazing matches. Like, think about when they had matches with the Usos. Think about when they had matches with the Shield.
Yeah.
They were brilliant. And then you put them against each other. Of course, they don't know what to do.
No idea what to do. But of course, all of this leads up to the main event. Let's get into this main event, because this is what everybody truly is talking about. Everything else has been overshadowed because
R.I.P.
the rumors...
Sting brother number 2.
Right. From this match, first off, the match was not bad. The match was head and shoulders better than I thought it was going to be. Just a match in and of itself. Jinder's work
the entire card. It was in the top 3.
I agree
behind
with that.
Owen, Styles, Ziggler, and Nakamura.
Yeah, I might even put it ahead of Styles and Owens. To be honest, I really enjoyed this match. I mean,
at least the finish was decisive.
It was very decisive. That is true. It was weird at times because I think everybody felt it. And it seems so weird to me. This is my one big complaint. There's obvious suggestion that Jinder is chock full of steroids. I mean, he's got the back knee.
people don't have veins like that.
No, and
no matter how natural you think you are, they're not human veins.
No, I almost threw up looking at his fucking back knee, and then, but
He has got
knowing
major
this,
back knee, like
he
Gene
really
Snitsky
does.
back knee.
Yeah, it's really bad. But no, WWE knows this, right? They know what people are thinking about him. It's part of the reason why people have a little bit of, you know, especially with Ryback, calling him a fucking cheater at this point, calling him a user. But why do you go the rage route? You know, it's like put two and two together, because all he does is rage. From the beginning of the match when Orton beat the crap out of him, which I really liked. Of course, the very unique way to get rid of the Singh brothers at the end there.
Oh my God. I mean, that was another example of awful camera angles. The fact that Orton backdrops the Singh brother pretty much to death, and the look on Orton's face was like, oh man, that went way worse than I wanted it to.
I liked it. I liked that look on his face. But that wasn't on Randy. That was on the Singh brothers, because both of them flopped. Like, they overflopped, and that's what happens. You land on your fucking head. But he was okay.
In their defense, though, they are tiny. Like, Orton's about 2 feet taller than both of them.
That's true. Standing on the
and
shoulders.
He's not even one of the taller wrestlers.
No. When I met him, he's about like 6'4", 6'5". He's fairly tall. When I met him, that's a great story, by the way. In 2007 in Iraq, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. They were exhausted, and we all heard him say, "Plain his day." After like 2 hours, he's like, "Can we just get the fuck out of here?" Because this was back in 2007 when he was still a cunt. He had that bad.
Back then, he was still a cunt.
Yeah. He back then that was the reputation. He was still an absolute raging cunt.
I mean, you're suggesting he's gotten better?
Apparently, his woman calmed him down. You know,
women can do that though. You know when you get in the nightly sucky, you start to mellow.
It does. I wouldn't know about this, of course, because it's been 2 years since I've
one
had
day, Dave.
suck.
One day you'll mellow out. You fucking rage monster,
dude. All I'm doing is just fucking rubber things. If it's
speaking
rubber...
of roid rage, right? Speaking of roid rage, no, we're not going to go into the obvious one, but the fact that Ryback says that Jinder's on steroids, like he's got to be the authority on steroids, hasn't he?
He would know.
This fucking guy doing shell shocked on 2 people at once, maybe 3 people at once, you know, just pressing like 300, 400 pounds every single night of the year.
Right.
Yeah, he probably knows if someone's on steroids.
I think he might have given them to him. There's a good possibility.
It's the one time I will give Ryback like journalistic integrity.
Well, I mean, this is the fucking most obvious thing in the world, though. I mean, like, how much credit are we supposed to give Ryback for pointing to the most juiced up guy currently in wrestling? But here's the thing: Jinder himself has never even denied it. What he said was, and his exact words, by the way, "I've never had an issue with the wellness policy." That was his response.
In other words, the wellness policy has never caught me on a bad day.
Ain't caught me yet. I'm fucking matrixing that shit. You don't know. But it's, look, here's the thing. And this is the one thing I'll say about this. I don't think he's failed a wellness policy. I don't. For whatever that means, he hasn't failed one. I do believe that. I mean,
if he had, though, they wouldn't want to make that public because they don't want to sacrifice the deal with India right now.
You know what? And they did it to Reigns. They did it to Reigns.
True.
If they'll do it to Reigns, they'll do it to anyone, you know?
Although arguably though, Reigns wasn't to corner an entire market.
No, that's true.
Reigns, like, shitting on Reigns only affected Reigns. But if you publicly out Jinder Mahal as a steroid user and violation of the wellness policy, India is going to go, oh, is this because he's Indian? You know?
Well, there's that.
We don't want him representing your company if he's going to be the Indian representative.
Yeah, but if it's going to risk, you know, people's safety, I think that maybe there should be a little bit of priorities in this. I don't know. Like, it seems, I don't know. The expansion's important. I don't know if it's that important, because this is one of those that just makes no sense. But still, that's another story for another day. Let's talk about the match. Let's talk about the finish and the fact that Jinder Mahal, yes, former 3MB member Jinder Mahal, is the world champion right now. He's WWE.
The thing that shocked me the most is obviously they want him to be WWE champion. They want him to look like credible monster heel and all that.
Yeah.
But on Talking Smack right after, I didn't realize it the first time I watched it, but I just happened to... I'd accidentally left my Xbox on all night, so the replay was showing, and Talking Smack just happened to come on, and Pete Rosenberg's like, can you believe it? World champion, former 3MB member. And I was like, surely they don't want to bring that up. Surely that's something they want you to forget about.
3MB's back in WWE, baby. Galloway, McIntyre's back. He's here.
Did you see that photo? Did you see that picture that someone edited of 3MB, and it had Mahal with the world title, Heath with the Universal title, and then Drew with the NXT title? And I was like, that could happen. Heath's going to be the one to dominate the beast.
Let's talk about Mahal here, because for good, bad, or indifferent, he got an amazing reaction. He worked the crowd at the end there so well. That was a legitimate shock reaction. It's one of those special ones, too. I think he got over. Now, is that going to last outside of a town like Chicago? I don't know. He could, I'm not sure, but he's going to get booed, but he's a heel, so it's okay. So it's going to, I don't know how long this run is going to last. Here, help me out here. What is going on? What's happening?
I feel like he's transitional. I feel like maybe SummerSlam at the longest, or maybe we're going to have an early Money in the Bank cash in, and that's going to be him out of the title picture.
My one caveat with that is he would be the fourth successive transitional champion, because John Cena was a transition, Bray Wyatt was a transition, Orton was a transition, and that means he would be the fourth. I don't see that. I think he's actually going to have a little bit of a run here. Garth says Dave, Jinder's actually from Canada, not India. Yes, he's Canadian.
Yeah, but he's
Indian. Come on. Come on, dude. Come on, you asshole. Don't be an asshole, Garth. Don't be an asshole.
Although give Garth credit, because he earlier said in the chat, I really hope Orton goes in the Hall of Fame. And it's like, dude, that's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I'm not even a big Orton fan, but it's going to happen. You can't not. He's even been a meme. Like, he's going in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. Orton is going in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But so what did this do for you? Did it do anything? Are you buying, selling Jinder? Where are you at with Jinder right now?
I mean, it didn't give me a boner. So other than that, I lost interest when he won the title. Do you know what? Giving credit, it was, like we said, it was a very decisive win. He hit the camel clutch or half Nelson,
whatever the hell they're calling that
drop.
Thing. Yeah.
It changes week by week.
Yeah.
You know, the Indie Buster or whatever. He hit the Indie Buster on Orton. And then,
you know what's great about that? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but the fact hitting the Indie Buster on Orton after the week Orton had on social media going out, that's just beautiful. That's the greatest.
I'm gonna pretend that was meant to happen.
It was not, but it was beautiful. Garth, God. I'm just kidding. Don't say sorry. I'm just busting your balls, Garth. It's okay. It's okay. I still love you. You're beautiful here. I'm touching your face.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. People get so sensitive sometimes.
Yeah, he hit the Indie Buster.
Yeah.
He got the 1, 2, 3. Yes, it was kind of sketchy because Orton was distracted, but other than that, that's what heels do, especially heels with an entourage. The entourage does the distracting and the heel gets the win. Yeah. I mean, I would argue Jinder still looked very strong throughout the match.
Oh, God,
I don't know if it was because he was walking around like looking like the Incredible Hulk with his veins bulging, but you know, he always looked focused. Like he does a good job of looking really focused on the goal.
He looks the part, man. He took a beat down from Orton and got up and came for more. And I thought they gave a really nice match there. I was very impressed with it. I thought it was going to be a train wreck, and it wasn't. It wasn't. No matter what you feel about Jinder, if he's supposed to be in the main event, if he's a roid rage or whatever, you judge the merits of that match based on that match, and I think you have to come to the conclusion that, you know what, this was not bad.
Sorry, I have to laugh at Pip, who said it should be called the Curry Crunch.
Yes! Oh, my God. That is fantastic, Pip. Jesus. I like
Something tells me they're not going to go with that one, though.
No, probably not. I don't think India would appreciate that at all. What does this mean? Why don't you just name him Apu? Fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that was pretty bad. Okay, so all of Backlash, what would you give Backlash as a whole? Out of 10, we typically like to go.
I'll give it a solid 6.
That, you know what, that's not terrible.
Good. It wasn't great, but the matches that we had, apart from Styles and Owens, and apart from the women's match, and apart from a bit too much comedy in the tag team match, other than that, it was fine.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more than fine, because Jinder obviously winning was an amazing heat magnet, and it did get, like, regardless of what people think of, we don't think Jinder should have the title. We think it's too soon for him. We think he's been built up badly. You reacted when that pinfall happened. Everybody in the entire world that was watching the network or was there in the arena, you reacted, and you reacted negatively. And that is what is supposed to happen when a heel wins.
Yeah.
Especially by nefarious means.
100% agree.
And him going into the crowd and like parading himself around as a big fucking deal, that made it end on like the highest note it could.
Loved it. I loved that. I thought that was absolutely brilliant, man. Now, unfortunately, if he would have fallen on somebody, they would have got his back knee juice all over him, and that would have ruined somebody's weekend. It would not have been good. But
days like this, we don't appreciate the HD.
No. Oh God, I almost threw up. Okay, so with the mixed bag that it was of Backlash, let's talk about the actual show stealer of the weekend. And we're not going to suck it off too long. NXT Takeover Chicago. How good was it? How good was it, man?
Hell, I'll easily give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
There were moments that could have been better, but other than that, I mean, I'm really bad when I watch NXT, because I don't always watch the NXT weekly shows.
Yeah.
But when I watch the main events, like the pay-per-views, if you can call them that, the special events, I watch them, but I sometimes fade in and out because some storylines and characters I'm not really up on. But when I watched Takeover Chicago, I watched every match from start to finish, didn't look away.
Right.
Because the action was incredible.
It was great.
The storytelling was fantastic all the way through, and it made me care. Yep. Like, it made me care about every match that was happening.
Not one match didn't deliver. Not one. Not one.
I mean, I would argue that Rude and Itami could have been better, but the ending was good.
The ending was great.
You know, the GTS into 2 DDTs, and the way he rolled through into the second DDT was fucking awesome.
It was pretty glorious. And then
it was glorious indeed.
The after effect with Itami kind of going ape shit in the back as well. That was kind of interesting. That feud's obviously not going to be over. That they have some legs on that. That should be interesting. But let's talk about it. There's a big elephant in the room. We talked a little bit about the heel turn. Well, I did at the beginning of the show, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about your boys. Let's talk about UK wrestling representing. You see what I'm wearing, motherfuckers?
Shitballs.
Pete Dunne, bitch. I'm wearing the shirt right here that you can also get over at I fucked it up. www.wrestlecrate.co.uk. The sponsor of my show that I can't even get the fucking name right of. Go check them out. You can get the shirt from them. They have it still in stock. You can buy it singular. This is from a past box. They still have some. Go get it. And if you use promo code DeadOnDave on your first box, you'll save 10%. You'll save 10%.
I'd like to take the opportunity to translate it into English.
Thank you.
If you'd like to go to wrestlecrate.co.uk and use the promo code DeadOnDave, you can save 10%. How was that?
That was wonderful. I almost want to record that.
Yeah, that was almost your boy Colossal.
That was almost Colossal-esque. Let's talk about it, man. That match. What the hell, dude? What happened? Did they go into a wrestling trance? What happened?
I think I've said this to you before, but like when I watched the UK tournament, I watched it and I was like, yeah, we did all right. It was okay. It was some good matches. And I didn't really care about Tyler Bate or about Pete Dunne. I wasn't that interested. But that match that they had at TakeOver was insane.
Unreal.
Even with the special that happened on Friday, I wasn't that bothered. Like, I watched it in and out, but the match on Saturday night just blew me away.
Insane.
The near falls were what did it for me. There were so many falls in that match where I thought it was over, and I'm like, it's still going.
Still going.
How?
Obviously, with independent wrestling, any independent wrestling, there is always going to be a little bit of sacrifice of selling. I didn't have a problem with it. They didn't rest for minutes at a time like Omega and Okada did. This was fluid, man. This was like, they are perfect dance partners, and I am sold on both of these guys going forward. As much as I love Pete Dunne, and I do, he's amazing. That guy is a star. Tyler Bate is 20 years old. There is something special in that kid. I mean, fuck me sideways. That kid is special. I like it. I mean,
man. Throwing out the top rope corkscrew as well.
Oh man, he pulled out so much, man. They dug deep.
I mean, the thing that I will say about the people that are like, yeah, it was a good match, but they didn't sell very much. The thing you've got to understand with the UK Championship match is when it comes to the UK specials, they want the UK title to feel like the biggest title in the United Kingdom. So what that means is that they have to put on main event level matches, but they have to have mid-card time constraints because they're on the mid-card. So they can't do the epic, 5 minutes of just laying on the ground because they're supposed to be selling. They've got to go, we need to boom, 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 get this match out and get it feeling like a main event, get the near falls feeling believable so that this title looks like a big deal and doesn't just look like a mid-card belt, because it's supposed to be the top of WWE's UK division. So it needs to be on par with the NXT title. It needs to be on par with the Universal title. It needs to be on par with the WWE title. It can't look like a mid-card title.
It's going to carry its own show. You guys are getting your own weekly show. It's got to carry that show, and they accomplished that. They accomplished that because I care now. I need to know what's going on with that title, and it's absolutely amazing.
If Dunn and Bate get another rematch, which I can see happening with Dunn going over,
gotta do it. There's a rubber match.
I want to watch that match now. I want to see it.
I think, you know what? I'm going to take it a step farther. I think they should put it at the next goddamn main event pay-per-view. The main Raw, the next pay-per-view, whatever, Raw's pay-per-view. Hi, babe. My wife is home from work. Hello, copious wife. Put it on the main. Bring Ross in. Bring Nigel in. Let him call the match on the main. Screw it. Give them that spotlight. They deserve it. They deserve it.
The one thing that gutted me about it is the match ended and Jim Ross had to leave.
Yeah, I know.
I wanted, after sitting there for however many minutes it was, 10 minutes or whatever, listening to Jim Ross call it, feeling like such a big deal, because let's face it, Jim Ross's commentary made it feel like an even bigger deal, because it feels like the main events of old of Stone Cold and Chris Jericho and The Rock and stuff like that. And for him to go, imagine Jim Ross calling the ladder match at the end of the night.
Oh, God.
And the heel turn at the end of the night with Jim Ross. It would be unbelievable, because no one does emotion in wrestling like Jim Ross.
No. And I got to give Nigel credit, man. A lot of times, and Matt Stryker is a perfect example of a guy who was not able to keep up with Jim Ross. Nigel and Jim have great chemistry. Unbelievably great, especially at the UK special where Jim Ross started calling people wankers.
What is this wanker?
What's wanker? That was great, because that could have thrown Nigel, and Nigel was like, well, it's a derogatory term that we use over here that's not very nice. That was great. God. That was amazing.
The thing with Nigel McGuinness is sometimes he just comes over a little too British.
A little bit. Not Jack Gallagher British, but who the fuck ever.
No. But I mean, the problem with Matt Stryker and Jim Ross, though, is they're both play-by-play.
Right.
That's why they clash, because they're trying to play-by-play.
Yeah. Never understood that. Rest of the night there on NXT, the women I thought did a very good job. I'm just going to gloss over them because I do want to get the calls. I want to bring people in, let them get sounding off on everything they thought about this weekend and whatever else they might have. That's completely fine. The women I liked. It didn't blow me away, but it was certainly a good match, better than I thought it was going to be. It was a stopgap match anyway. What did you think on that?
Yeah, we knew it was. I mean, to be fair, they could have done without showing the shot of Ember Moon watching it from like a skybox, because then as soon as she showed that, I turned to Lydia and went, Asuka's winning the match.
Yeah.
Because this is a placeholder. This is like, I didn't think it was before. I was like, oh, are they really going to push this like Ruby Riott girl? I thought maybe they were going to go in that direction for a moment, for a split second. Then they showed Ember Moon, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's
no way. So the rest of the matches were fine. I enjoyed Roddy. I'm a fan of Roderick Strong.
Do you know what? I really liked Roderick Strong and Eric Young. They worked really well together.
Strong's so impressed. Yeah, they got great chemistry, but Roderick Strong, man, I know he's small, but can't you see him as a champion, a world champion?
He goes as a main eventer.
Unreal. This was Mr. Ring of Honor, though. To be fair, this guy carried Ring of Honor for a while. People forget about that. In a time where Ring of Honor had some pretty fucking great talent, Roderick Strong was right there.
I mean, I'm coming in as somebody who didn't. I don't know anything about Roderick Strong. I didn't see him in Ring of Honor, and I knew nothing about him. So I heard he was from Ring of Honor, and like I knew for a while, and I was like, okay, maybe he's cool, but I didn't really see anything about him. But then Takeover was the first time I actually watched him wrestling.
He's fantastic.
Properly. And he really impressed me. Like he took my breath away with that match. Even from
he takes everyone's breath away with those backbreakers. Jesus.
I know it's the Booker's decision, but the start of that match, I didn't see coming. I saw Eric Young waiting in the ring, and I was like, he's gonna do a run-in on Young. Like he's gonna run in and come up from behind. I didn't realize he was gonna run in and destroy Killian Dane and Wolf. Is it Wolf?
Yeah, Wolf.
Yeah. I always forget that guy. I feel bad for him.
I think that's going to happen a lot in his career.
I remember Killian Dane a lot, but that's only because I watched WCPW, so I know him as Big Damo.
Yeah.
But
I like that guy too. But let's talk about the we really don't need to talk more about Hideo and Bobby Roode. It was what it was. I did like it.
It was fine.
It was fine.
It did what it needed to do.
Yes, Bobby Roode is solidified. He is the man, arguably the best world champion they have right now in the company, which is weird because we said the same thing when Samoa Joe was champ. We kind of said the same thing when Shinsuke was champ.
I honestly almost don't see Bobby Roode going to the main roster. I feel like he's going to be there to solidify NXT.
Right.
For the foreseeable future.
He's 40.
Because the thing is, he's 40, yeah. Unless he's going to jump on the main roster and have this like quick fire, boom, 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 suddenly world champion kind of run, I don't see him leaving NXT.
I do feel
before he retires.
His time is coming, though. I do feel like he is going to lose the title. I got a feeling they're going to put a rocket ship up the ass of Mr. Drew McIntyre. I think SummerSlam, he's taking that belt off of him. The SummerSlam weekend.
Although I can see Roode being like the first 3 or 4 time NXT champion. I think he's going to be a constant driving force. I can see him being heel, going face, going heel again. All in the course of his career.
They got to get him up to the main roster. Bobby, at this point, everything that Bobby Roode
I want him to. Like, damn, I'm a Roode fan. I want to see the glorious entrance.
That's the whole reason why that's the whole reason why the argument's defeated, because Glorious needs to be at WrestleMania. It has to. It has to. It's the best theme in wrestling right now. It's like,
oh yeah. It's not even arguably, it is. It's hands down the best theme in wrestling. Nothing gets you pumped like hearing that.
Nope. Shinsuke, maybe. I love AJ's. Shinsuke's is close.
Shinsuke's theme, I like. I'll give you that. And it's enjoyable. It's on my Spotify playlist. But because of the commercials they kept playing throughout Takeover, throughout everything, I'm so burned out from those violins now that when Shinsuke was coming out, I was like, can we just fucking play something else, please?
Well, luckily, you can't hear the violins because everyone's singing the fucking song because Shinsuke is so goddamn over. Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's talk about the main event. A lot of people weren't thinking that the main event was going to be the tag team match, but it was. Should have sent off warning bells that we were going to see something really special, and we did. Not only the heel turn, which was epic, the match was just good. Authors of Pain, finally they clicked in the way that I want them to. That is a dominant fucking team, and it's all because of Paul Ellering. Ellering gave them instant credibility, and whatever he's saying in their ears, like, hey, you guys are green, whatever, just trust me, you do this, this, and this, everything's going to be fine. And it finally clicked. That was great. Absolutely fantastic.
I really like how, even though ladder matches have been going for so many years, there's always something new that can be brought to the table as well.
Yep.
Like when they had the 2 ladders propped up in the ring at right angles to each other, and one ladder falls, Gargano hops onto the other ladder and is then still in the running for the titles. Right. And I'm like, dude, I did not see that happening. Like, even when they're propped up next to each other, you know there's a spot coming, but you don't know what it is.
Right. I didn't even mind the end spot where we knew it was the super collider was gonna happen there.
Oh, where they were dangling, and you're like,
it was still
the
cool.
thing I hate in those situations when they're dangling. Why not just, you're gonna fall anyway, just grab the title.
Grab the title.
There was even a point where the Authors of Pain had them in the powerbomb position. You could have grabbed the belt.
Could have grabbed.
They were holding you up.
They with your cock in their mouth. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Because how better
that
would have been winning?
That would have been a way of
doing
the plucky babyface win. Would have been, oh my god, the Super Collider. No, they've won the title. They've retained.
That is something that we saw like very frequently down in TNA with the Ultimate X stuff. Like, I don't know if you ever saw those type of matches, but that would happen quite frequently. It's like the guy would get power bombed off, but he would somehow come away with the X. It's like, oh shit, he won anyway. Fuck, he just got destroyed. But
whenever
won.
I think of Ultimate X matches, I just think of the one where the belt kept falling off.
Oh, that was so funny. And it actually landed in the guy's hands at one point. Oh my god, that was so good.
And they were like, no, he has to retrieve it from the top.
It was so good. That's a legendary moment. Tell me about this heel turn. Where does it rank for you as far as all-time heel turns go? This one felt special. It feels different. It felt unique. It's kind of out of nowhere. I know the rumor was going around, but still, this one,
the build, it's like you say, these are two guys who live together.
Yes.
IRL, like,
yeah,
they don't get closer. You don't get better tag team chemistry than DIY.
No,
like arguably, like the Hardy Boys are brothers, and I feel like DIY clicks more than the Hardys
right.
in terms of how much they care about each other. I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw a spot where somebody pushed someone out of the way of a ladder and then took it to the face.
Yeah, it's like, I love you this much.
That was the point of the match where it was going, the heel turn's not happening then, because look what a cohesive unit they are.
Right.
How could anyone turn on someone that takes a bullet like that for them?
I took a ladder to the face, bro. Oh, Jesus. But they did it the right way, because Gargano is a great heel. These two, they've clashed in the past too.
Ciampa.
Oh, yeah. Did I say Gargano? Excuse me. Ciampa. Yeah, the Sicilian psychopath, Tommaso Ciampa. These two have clashed before too. Remember in the fucking tournament, the CWC, they had an epic match. And so
that was one of those where it was like, oh, they're the best of friends. They're not going to kill each other that much, and they went for it.
So where do you see it going? Where does this go from here? Is it going to be a while before we see Gargano? Do you see this taking place in NXT? Do you see them moving on? What's going to happen?
I see it going into NXT just because it's been NXT built. And I feel like if you do translate it, I know what you're saying. It would be better to put it on a more mainstream, more main roster kind of level. But at the same time, I feel like it's almost cheating the NXT fans because they've watched DIY from the ground up. And then to not get the payoff of, oh, they've turned on each other, but now they're gone anyway.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of that ending? You could have just had them end on a high note. Whereas I think we'll get at least a couple. I see their kind of feud, the way it's going now, culminating around about SummerSlam time, around about the takeover that happens before SummerSlam.
I've got a couple reasons why I think that they're not going to do it in NXT. One, there was a lot of people who was left off this card. Cassius Ohno, not on this card. Friggin' Tommy End, Aleister Black, not on this card. Cien Almas, not on this card. There were people who were not on this card because there's simply not enough spots. You get 5 matches. Ciampa and Gargano have had a long, long run in NXT. And they're saying a big reason why they split them up in this way is because they did not want them going to the main roster as a tag team. I do feel this was their last match in NXT. And not only for those reasons, but because 205 is fucking dead. 205 is dead, and this will give it life.
You've said it before, because it's a Raw exclusive brand that plays after SmackDown has aired, and the audience is tired.
Yeah, no sense. Absolutely no sense. But I'll tell you this. If Gargano shows up and Ciampa, God, I keep doing that. If Ciampa shows up and instantly starts getting into some major serious situation, maybe even takes the title off of Neville, and then boom, Gargano shows up the next week on Raw or something. I mean,
yeah, but how's Ciampa going to take the title off Neville?
Well, you could do heel versus heel in that situation. I think that's not the most difficult thing in the world to do. Maybe Aries finally gets the title off of Neville.
I'd like to see Aries get the title. He's one of my favorite wrestlers.
It's very possible that Aries is going to take the belt off of him. I mean, hell, he's been cheated twice.
Yeah.
He's been cheated out of it twice. So
that feud needs a payoff.
It does. A big one, too. A big one. So we'll see what happens there. I think that pretty much hits everything up. You got any other points on either one of the shows that you want to hit before we start taking some calls? Then we're going to get out of here.
Literally just, if anyone from WWE watches this, please make more events like Takeover Chicago.
Please.
Look at Takeover Chicago. Much in the way that Alexa Bliss is the prototype that all women should be made from, NXT Takeover Chicago is the prototype for all future WWE pay-per-views.
Right.
If you can make pay-per-views with matches that make us feel the way we did watching all of those matches, you will get more subscriptions. You will get
Money.
more eyes on your product. It's literally shows like that print money.
It does. Could not agree with you more. Could not agree with
And
you
I'm
more.
willing to forgive you for Backlash if you can make this change.
They're like, but wait a second, Mr. British man, you said it was a mess. So a great and a meh, that's still that's a B plus, motherfucker. I mean, what do you want here?
B plus.
It's a B plus weekend. What more do you want?
And
right.
can we quickly, just before we go, can we talk briefly about?
We're not going anywhere yet. Go ahead.
Can we talk briefly about WCPW?
Yes,
and how
I did want
they've
to
had
bring
to
that
cancel a whole load of their live shows for their. They used to do a weekly show called Loaded, which they were going to bring back, like a new season of it, weekly, free on YouTube, and they literally cannot afford to do it because of the adpocalypse.
Yep.
Because it's killing wrestling content.
It is.
Why the hell wrestling is classed as non-advertiser friendly when fucking Rocket League is advertising and sponsoring the events?
Right.
And children are going to WWE events, and yet wrestling's banned. You can't talk about wrestling.
It makes no sense because almost everything has some sort of violence in it nowadays that's on YouTube. I mean, like all entertainment facets. I mean, whether it's talking about The Walking Dead, showing things from The Walking Dead or whatever the case may be, or video games, there's all violence. Wrestling right now is more geared towards a younger demographic than it has been in 30 years. So it just doesn't really make sense to me to why this, now maybe not WCPW, but wrestling in general to be classified as non-advertiser friendly when the one thing that is happening with wrestling is advertisers want to be a part of it, doesn't really make a lot of sense. And what's really sucks about it is I have friends who have indie promotions that are involved with independent wrestling, and I know how important YouTube is to them. It's everything. It's everything to them. It's how they make money. It's the only way that they're able to keep the doors open. And everyone was freaking out because they were like, well, you know, what culture is going to keep the wrestling thing going? No, that's not how corporations work. You have your own individual budget that you have. And if you can't replenish it, you're expendable. You're not taking down the entire ship, buddy. That's not how it works.
You think What Culture Gaming is going to happily pay for WCPW to put events on? It's not going to happen.
Not happening. And it's unfortunate. I'm not the biggest supporter of their wrestling over there, but you know, I'm a supporter of all forms of wrestling as far as it should exist. And this is strangling. This is fucking smothering the air out of the fire that is wrestling on YouTube. And it's a fucking crime. It's a crime.
I mean, wrestling on YouTube, like I would argue wrestling on YouTube doesn't come more fucking pure than what the What Culture guys are doing because they started as a YouTube channel.
I think it's fair.
And built wrestling, like a wrestling promotion from just having a following on YouTube.
And it's legitimate wrestling too. They get the biggest stars in the world to come over there and put on shows, and they probably get it at a budget. It's not Grimm's Toy Show. We're not talking about Grimm's Toy Show's backyard wrestling bullshit. This is a real fucking organization that we're talking about. You know, legit. The biggest stars in the world, Rey Mysterio and Alberto Del Rio, just had a goddamn match. You know, it's like
they always have Jim Ross commentating half the time.
Right. It's legitimate shit. It
can't be any more legitimate than Jim Ross going, I'll have my name to that.
Right. It's pretty repugnant. I'm glad that we were able to bring that up.
Even Bischoff was there.
Everybody's been there. Everybody goes a part of it for it's if you're not working for one of the major stuff, you go in there.
And I mean, they've had WWE Hall of Famer Kurt
Angle. Yeah. Cage match with Cody Rhodes, for Christ's sake. You know, it's
hell of a cage match.
That was a nice little match. I didn't jerk off to it like some people did, but it was okay. It was all right. It was fair. Check it out, guys. If you want to jump in and ask your wrestling questions or any other question, if you want to ask Liam about his cock size or anything else that you might want to know, like Charmander's cock size, I bet he can probably tell you. Go ahead and call in right now. Jump into the Discord. It's in the description box below. Go into Wait and Call, and we will pull you up, and you could talk to the YouTube famous Ace Trainer Liam. You like how I put you over?
The problem is, right, you know when you put me over like that?
Yeah.
People think that's what I think.
And it's not.
People are like, oh, Liam's such an arrogant bastard. He gets Dave to tell him that he's YouTube famous and to suck his dick and shit.
Not, man.
I'm as humble as they come. I'm like, dude, I got 100K subs. I'm nobody on YouTube, right? You're nobody on YouTube until you're at least 500K.
You know, case in point, you're on this show.
Now I'm somebody.
No, the case in point is you're very humble because you have humbled yourself enough to come here of all places. You came into my fat fucking basement. I mean, geez, it doesn't get more humble than that. Holy shit. But no, I appreciate you being here, man. I really do. And no, you are the least arrogant person.
I love your audience though as well.
We got a great community, man. It's
everyone's so fucking nice. Like I started jumping into your chat a few weeks, and everyone's, well, I say 99% of people are just really fucking nice to me.
We got a couple cunts, but yeah, there's incredible people.
You know who you are. I'm not gonna
fake ass twat. I'll fucking not the fake ass twat.
Oh, you fucking did it.
Ah, fuck him. That guy. That fucking guy.
He always has nice things to say. I don't know
he's a mush puff. He loves me. I heard his voice last night. Did you hear that? That's I've never heard his voice.
What?
Dude has been following me for 2.5 fucking years. Oh God, Elmo. It was almost Elmo-esque. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was I almost cried. I was so drunk that almost everything made me cry. But it was incredible. We only got one person waiting to call. Let's bring him up. I know what's about to happen. I'm going to apologize in advance. So, you know.
To me or to the community?
No, to you. Just brace yourself.
Okay.
Dated Rhyme, you're live with Dead on Dave and Ace Trainer Liam. What do you got for us?
Thank you. Basically, you were talking about Kevin Owens before, and I was just going to say my funniest moment of Kevin Owens was Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh yeah,
Raw, June 15, 2015, when he literally like slams Machine Gun Kelly into a pile of carpets and shit.
It was pretty special.
Like, yeah,
memories.
Nostalgia trip in here. Like, what has got to be your favorite live performance? Like that you've seen, like an intro, like.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it is a question. For you.
I'm thinking back to ones that have been done, and I'm like, Motorhead did Triple H, got all their lyrics wrong. Yep. Living Colour did CM Punk and butchered their own song.
Yes, they did.
Flow Rider with Wild Ones. You're at 28.
I think Drowning Pool did Triple H's entrance once.
Yeah,
fucked it up. Like, has there ever been a good performance?
I don't know. Like,
I mean, Limp Bizkit back in the day, back in the Undertaker days when he was the American Badass. I mean, they did all right.
I got one. Salt and Pepper.
You are showing your age, Mr.
I am old as shit. The only good thing about that fucking main event, Salt and Pepper. What a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
Wow.
Amazing.
Is it too late to kill myself on stream?
No, It's never too late. Dated, you got anything else, Mr. Dated Rhyme?
Yeah, I was going to say, you're talking about camera shots. Now, camera shots in WWE works like you and OBS. So you decide which shots to go to when.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be the person with a camera, and then there'll be somebody sat far back on like keyboard saying, right, we're going to use this shot now.
Yeah.
So they've got a preview of what's going on. So
yeah, they've got no excuse.
That's kind of my point. They really fucked that up.
As a person that's a technician and in live events, I can tell you that like they don't have an excuse.
No, it was just
so Kevin Dunn's there like, right, we're going to cut to the shot of AJ hurriedly hooking his own leg into the wires.
You know what, JJ Lopez, he's got a point here. The violinist for Nakamura was that the first time.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. That was pretty.
Do you know what? Bobby Roode's choir as well wasn't too bad. That when he had the glorious choir, that was fine.
The dueling
NXT
pianists,
again though.
Yeah, it's NXT. What doesn't work in fucking NXT? You know, it's...
when Triple H has the reins, for lack of a better word,
it
fucking works.
Hashtag
end Vince's life.
Oh my! See now, like that's disgusting. That's deplorable. I'm not against it, but it's deplorable. Patooey. What are you gonna do? You can't want to kill Vince.
Hey, I'm a fucking CM Punk fan. I obviously can quite openly talk about.
Did you hear about what happened with Punk? Did you hear about this?
5-star wrestling.
No.
Emma Blackery loves
Fuck
him.
the 5-star wrestling. No, not the 5-star wrestling. Fuck that. That's old news. That's old news. Last night.
What fight?
Oh my God!
Shit,
last night. Oh, this is amazing.
Backlash was like night. I'm dead.
This is amazing. Last night or the night
3 hours ago.
He was on some celebrity show with like a couple of different people. A football player, I forgot his goddamn name, but a whole bunch of people, right? Like somebody who was on the show takes a shot at him for his UFC thing, and Punk does Punk things and gets up and fucking has a goddamn PMS fit and almost fights the guy. They almost fight each other, and Punk would have got his ass kicked again because Punk is such a puss bag. Oh my god.
Going back to what you've just said, what are your thoughts on it keeps being theoried in England, Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor having a fight, but I don't know how it's going to work.
Oh, it's happening.
My problem with Conor McGregor is he's one of these people who starts internet beef with fucking everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like apparently, according to the Metro and the Beam and a couple of other sources, like it's like yeah, they're having it.
This fight's happening. It's already been.
We're days away. It's already happening.
Well, we're days away. UFC they closed their side of the deal. Now it's just going to Floyd. This is Floyd's last huge money. He's 40 years old.
Yeah. You seeing what I mean, Dave? You know what I mean?
Oh, this fight has to happen because boxing is in a rough place.
How is it going to work though? That's my question. You know, Mayweather's a boxer. McGregor's kicky foot.
McGregor's more than kicky. McGregor has unbelievable accuracy and quickness in his punches. Here's the thing. And he generates a lot of power. I'm not saying that he's going to beat Mayweather, but if there's anybody in MMA that has a legitimate shot at catching someone like Floyd, it's Conor McGregor. He's got the reach. The thing
with McGregor is he does only need to catch someone off guard.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, to his credit,
the
minute he gets an opening, he fucking takes it.
Unfortunately, he's going to have to catch the greatest technical fighter maybe in the history of the sport, but he's 40. He's 40 and he hasn't fought in 18 months. Conor could win this thing. I'm not saying he's going to. I'm saying don't be shocked if he catches Floyd and puts him on the ground. And if he does, Conor McGregor is the greatest combat
It's like you say, regardless of the outcome, that match is fucking money.
Yeah,
gotta watch it.
It's going to be a great match no
matter
what.
Gotta watch it. Can't miss.
Exactly. I hope you enjoyed your birthday yesterday. I tried to get on, to wish you happy birthday, but waiting to call was longer than.
I got everybody in waiting to call. You left. You got fucking impatient,
dude,
man.
Time zones, man.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I'm in Germany.
Wait,
fuck you. Wait. Fuck you. I'm in Germany. I'm an hour ahead of you. I'm an hour ahead of you. Well, suck it up, Buttercup. That's the fucking point.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. You know, some of us have got college.
Do you have a final question for Ace Trainer Liam? I know you do. You might as well ask.
Right, fair enough. Ace Trainer Liam, do you like pancakes? And if you do, what would you have on pancakes if you could have pancakes?
What a fucking bizarre question. Yeah. You know what? I was expecting something really fucking sarcastic or just something that was going to put me on the spot and make me fucking want to die. But I'll take fucking lemon and sugar, fam, or a bit of orange and sugar.
See, this is the thing. I'd throw everybody off with that.
Jesus Christ.
There you go. Thank you.
What about you? What about you? No, don't kick him out yet.
Okay.
What about you?
Bro, I'm pro white chocolate and blueberry. You know.
Hey.
And Dave, what are you again? I can't even remember.
I think I said blueberry last time. This time I'll say
drippings of pussy.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I need Clown. Clown is the final person in the community that I need. I'm done. I stopped doing it.
I'm down.
That's your white whale. That's your fucking white whale of pancake talk. Holy shit.
That's my white whale, Clown.
What if I answer on his behalf?
There you go.
No, I need to hear it from the Clown man himself. Clown, if you're watching, you're probably not because it's you. But if you're watching, come here now.
Hey, Clown was in my chat and he got so drunk that he donated an obscene amount of money. So he was in there all night last night. It was fantastic.
Yeah, you wait for that charge back.
Oh shit! If so, they're gonna be funds not fucking found. That money's gone, son.
Also, I just want to say all the motherfuckers watching right now, all 59 of you, drop some fucking likes because that is shocking.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Dated. I appreciate
Pancakes
it.
Out.
Pancakes out. Yeah,
I expected worse. You know, when you said sorry in advance, I was like, this guy's gonna want to trigger me or something. He was really nice.
He's actually a really good caller. I thought he was gonna open with pancakes. That's why I hence the apology. But no, he was very good. He always is really good. By the way, I'm getting beaten up in the chat over my Conor McGregor remarks. Dude, okay, listen to me. Anybody in there who's saying that Floyd Mayweather is going to knock out Conor McGregor, first off, have you never seen Floyd Mayweather fight? He doesn't knock out anybody. I don't think Floyd Mayweather's knocked out anybody in fucking 15 years. He doesn't knock anybody out. He runs. He technically fights. He's beautiful in his defense, but he doesn't knock people out. He's not going to knock out if Nate Diaz one of the Diaz brothers couldn't knock out fucking Conor McGregor, Floyd ain't gonna knock him out. He will pick him apart, but at 40 years old, don't be shocked is all I'm saying. I'm not betting on McGregor. I'm not saying
he ain't going to be as sprightly as McGregor. That's the problem. McGregor does have the youth and the agility advantage.
He does. He's quick, and he's going to take this fight seriously, too. He's going to take that shit seriously. Because if he beats Floyd Mayweather, let's think about the ego of Conor McGregor. It goes beyond just self-ego. If he beats Floyd Mayweather, he's the greatest combat sports combatant in the history of the world. Nobody's close. I'm talking above Ali. If he beats Floyd Mayweather, even at 40, even with not fighting in 18 months, it doesn't matter. He is the greatest. That's it. Close the book. Close the book. I'm watching that fight. That's all I know.
The only problem with Conor is he might open his mouth and just eat a fucking Mayweather fist.
Huffman Floyd knocked out the Big Show at WrestleMania 2008.
Hey, broke his fucking nose.
Good point. Well, brass knucks, but I guess we're forgetting that. But, you know, still. Ace Trent, my friend, I appreciate you being here, man. Tell all the kids where they can find you because you're basically me. You're wrestling, Pokemon. You're basically me. So tell where they can find you, man.
You can find me at youtube.com/Ace Trainer Liam. Or if Twitch is more your thing, twitch.tv/Ace Trainer Liam.
That's right. And you are a daily uploader. This is what you do. You're there every day streaming. This is it.
Every single day. I neglect my girlfriend to watch videos. Sure, she loves me for it.
Yeah, well, of course. It's the whole package. That's right. Yeah, all the things that should get. Isn't it great early in relationships? The things that will piss her off later on. She finds cute right now. Ride that shit. Ride it. Ride it as long as you can.
And you don't have to follow me on Twitter, but definitely, follow my girlfriend at groove_dust because your eyes will thank me.
Yeah, I will agree with that. I'm not going to be disrespectful, but fuck.
Mate, you can be as disrespectful as you want. I know you've been baiting.
I've been hitting the like button. If that's what that means. I don't know.
Is that what you're referring to it as now?
Sure. It's
You've been
that's
slapping
a very
your like
Midwestern
button all night long.
I slapped that like button. I'm very Midwestern. What can I say? All right, Liam, man, this was great. I'm really glad that we got you on here to be able to do an entire show. We're going to be doing some Nerd and the Joke in the future. I know that for certain, but we might have another role for you because Jake is pretty adamant about coming back, which I was not expecting. So he's like, I'm not dead yet, motherfucker. So I'm like, okay, sweet.
You were so quick to replace me.
Well, I was freaking out, man. I'm like, I'm losing my baby. Nerd and the Jerk's my fucking thing. I love Nerd and the Jerk. I've been doing the show for 5 years with different hosts, and I just wasn't sure how long he was going to be gone. So I made a move. So,
shit happens.
But we got you here now. You're here. So
I ain't going nowhere. You guys need to get used to me.
I think the chat absolutely loved you, and I had a lot of fun. So thank you so much for being here, buddy.
Always a pleasure.
Hang out a second while I do the outro. It'll be about a minute. Okay. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you guys very much for joining us right here on Dead on Day Productions. Make sure you drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, and see what's going on over the next couple of days. We got a lot of things. Pokemon stream tomorrow. We got some cool stuff coming. I got some more Pokemon cards on the way that we're going to be opening. Got some new stuff that you're going to see because of all your generosity. You'll be seeing that as well. Lots of great stuff happening. Brand new frame will be debuted tomorrow. If Pokemon's your thing, you want to be here for that. Guncannon made me a brand new frame. I love it. It's great. Can't wait for you guys to see that tomorrow. Other than that, we're out. Thanks a lot for joining us. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you next time right here on Dead on Day Productions. Keep it copious, folks. And remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have
talented friends.
Like fucking Ace Trainer and Liam. You see? Duck to water, baby. Duck to water. And peace. I hit the wrong button. Oh, where did it go? There it is. Peace.